안녕하세요 여러분, Shana입니다. Hi guys, this is Shana here. So a lot of people have asked me for recommendations on a good beginner Korean textbook series. So usually I would recommend Ewha, Yonsei or SNU. Actually, all three series have their own good points, but because Ewha recently published this study guide for the self-learner, I would now say that Ewha ranks the top of my recommended textbook series for the beginners. Okay, so this study guide is now published for level 1-1 and 1-2. So what I have with me is the English version of the textbook workbook and the study guide, but I believe that there are also versions in other languages. Okay, so for today I'll be focusing on a review for this study guide, but I will briefly go through why I really like this textbook and workbook series too. Okay, so for the self-learner, okay, so I think this is quite a great book on its own because it's, as you can see, it's very fun, a lot of graphics and nothing too overwhelming, and it's very well structured. Okay, so this book begins with introducing the Hangul. Okay, so an explanation, the consonants, the vowels, some practice, how to write each of the characters and so on. And after this, they go on to the chapters. So each chapter starts off by introducing the grammar points. So this one goes the imnida, imnika, and then the unnun, the topic markers. And afterwards, there'll be like exercises, dialogues, etc. So I've done a very quick review on my blog, so you can refer to that. Okay, so then they end each chapter with some form of like a cultural note. And for the workbook series, I really liked it too because it is very much very well structured also, and the exercises are those that you're likely to do instead of asking you to write an email or to practice with your friend or something like that. And this one is suitable for the self-learner also, a lot of those fill in the blanks, creating sentences and conjugations of grammar points, etc. Okay, so this one comes with a CD2, and also for the textbook they have another one. Yeah. Okay, so basically I've always been recommending this series because it is very compact, slightly smaller than the A4 size, and something that you can bring out. Okay, so now back to the main lead of today. So the study guide that they have recently published, it is really good for the self-learner. Why? Because for this textbook series, it is mainly targeted for classroom use in the Korean and the Ewha Korean language classes. But with this study guide, I think self-learners would have an easier time. A lot of people have told me that they don't dare to self-study right from the start because it's a brand new language. There's so many things that you don't really know. You would prefer having a teacher to guide you. But now I think with this can serve as your teacher. Okay, so it starts off with the Hangul also, but so basically it complements the textbook, so you are supposed to use both together at the same time. Okay, so I think it expands a lot on what is covered in the textbook. So for example, in the Hangul section, then they teach you exactly how to pronounce each of the consonants, vowels, etc. So a lot more detailed. Okay, so let me show you this. Okay, so all these gray areas are grammar explanations, and you can see that they are actually a lot more detailed than what you have in the textbook. Okay, so let me show you an example. Okay, so for this one, okay, so as you can see that they're introducing the air particle for the location, and this is the explanation in the textbook. Very short, very concise, but for the self-learner, you might want something extra. Okay, so now look at the same section of the air particle, and the explanation is now a lot more detailed, with more examples and explanation. And afterwards, for the textbook series, they usually have this yon soup. section where it's classroom activities. Maybe you're supposed to create a dialogue or you're supposed to practice with your friend, and it doesn't have answer keys inside the textbook. But now with the study guide, they actually provide an answer key. Okay, so this is why I think that if you want to study Korean on your own and you don't really want to go for classes, this would be a very good book for you to use. Okay, so you can see they have this orange area whereby for the dialogues inside the textbook, they have an English transcript. So, if you are new to Korean and you don't really know, hey, did I understand that dialogue completely? You can now refer to the English transcript. Okay, so after each chapter, then they will end off with like a vocabulary checklist. So you're supposed to check, have I learned this and so on. So for me, I don't really like the checklist because I find that it adds on to the stress and it encourages rote learning, whereby you're just like, oh, I need to memorize this particular word, what if I don't know this? That means have I not learned what is being covered in the chapter? So I think that, for language learning, it's always important to enjoy yourself. Good that you're learning new words, but if you find yourself not knowing every single thing, it's fine, move on. Okay, so basically that's about it. Okay, so with the study guide being published for level 1-1 and 1-2, I think that this would be my recommended series for anyone who wants to start learning Korean on your own. Okay, so the year-end holidays are coming. If you are keen to pick up the language, or if you know anyone who wish to learn Korean, maybe you can recommend them to purchase all these books. So I've also included a review of the study guide on my blog at www.hangukdrama.com. So feel free to visit the blog and leave me a comment. Okay, so thanks for watching the video today. If you have any questions or anything that you would like to ask, feel free to leave a comment either at this YouTube video page or at my blog also. So thanks for watching and hope to see you again. 나중에 또 뵙겠습니다. 안녕.